Okay, this is Aaron again with Exalted Lamb 1, and I have maybe one of my greatest videos ever that I put up, and I'm so excited to get to it. I've got a combination of some incredible stuff, even including scripture, and man, just incredible symbolisms, gematria, the whole thing. So, and this whole video is going to be peppered with all these things. So, for the whole 2 hours, whatever it's going to be. So you need to watch this whole thing. I mean, if you don't normally watch the whole thing, or definitely watching sections or whatever you need to do. This is monumental. What I'm going to show you, and literally in the eclipses the eclipse that's coming up, and in the previous eclipses that kind of tied to this, is the signature of Jesus in these. And I can't even believe what the Lord showed me on some of these things. I'm beside myself. So I think with all this evidence, man, this is probably the biggest candidate I've ever had, okay, for the time of this timeline and everything. So without any further ado, let's get right into it, okay? So again, I'm the Exalted Lamb 1 on YouTube, but Exalted Lamb 1 on Telegram. If you want to sign up, I'll put a link in the description box below. Sometimes I've not done that, other times so I'm going to make it available. So I put out updates on some things about news stories with gematria, things like that. Also, definitely my notifications through this about my YouTube videos. YouTube, of course, notoriously turns off notifications and has done countless stuff to me that's completely illegitimate and wrong, and but they get away with it. So if you want to get notifications, definitely sign up for this. It goes through your phone. So, and I want to say my motto, because I do not practice. I mean, I'm not a Kabbalist, and I'm not into, mystic numerology and all that. Numerology in just general is the study of numbers and what numbers do. That is God's, okay? That is the Lord Jesus Christ and the Father's. It's not anybody's but theirs, but the enemy has, ripped it off. He's, basically counterfeited it to use it for his devices and programming people for the time that's coming, that he wants one man, one government, one world religion, and him as the evil dictator in this one person, well, the so-called man. So anyway, so it's all about that. And so I always want to quote Ephesians 5:11. There's other scriptures as well, that you could, Scripture in the Old Testament talk about the watchman, and all that stuff, but having no part in the worthless deeds of darkness, but instead exposing them, Ephesians 5:11. Okay, so any of you ultra-religious nutballs out there that go, oh, you're part of it and everything, wrong answer. No, I'm exposing it, and what it calls us to do, we're supposed to expose the darkness, okay? That's what I'm doing, okay? And so if you have a problem with that, you have a problem with Jesus, and you have a problem with the Bible. And by the way, I know Jesus personally, and if, you don't get any of this stuff, you need to start listening to Jesus, okay? He's the one that speaks, but most people are not listening, okay? You're not listening. He died and he came back to life. God rose him from the dead. He's at the right hand of God, and he's doing what he's doing, in just massive ways all over the world, in people's hearts. And the ones who are listening are going to benefit from that for eternity. The ones who are not, good luck with that. That's all I gotta say. It's, with massive compassion for all of you. That's why I'm doing these videos. You better start listening to Jesus. And this stuff that's coming is going to force you in one direction or the other. You can either reject God and the Lord Jesus, or you're going to just run to him, okay? It's like, I remember I had an uncle, okay, and he was in a war, and he said, there's no atheists in foxholes. Everybody that's in a foxhole and they get shot and everything starts begging God to live and everything. So when things you start really getting shot, and when this stuff starts when the stuff starts coming at you, most people are going to basically, bow the knee to the Lord. Okay, that's it. But a certain amount of people, believe it or not, they're going to just completely reject it, or be duped. That's the other thing. They're going to be duped by the enemy. So moving on here. So I just want to make a point of that. This is my ministry from the Lord Jesus himself. And he gives me all this stuff. He gives me this understanding. It's all him, and I'm just listening. I'm bothered to listening. My whole life's been about when I was younger. I ran away. Even when I was a believer, I kind of ran away at times because I want to do my own thing. And then he showed me you can't do that. You can't do that. You cannot, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not unto your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. And that's in Proverbs. That's even in the Old Testament. There's many things in the New Testament about that. You've got to submit yourself to him, and that's part of being the faithful that will be taken off the earth. The ones who are not faithful will not be, and then they're going to have to go through a lot of challenges, a lot of struggles to change that and become faithful. So anyway, moving on here. So I want to preface this video as well with the rule of Kalel. This is a Masonic rule as far as it goes with gematria and things. The Kabbalistic rule of Kalel states that the one digit can be added to or subtracted from the gematria value of a word without affecting its value. This seems to modern ears to be achieved. However, the Kabbalists explain the rule by pointing out that for them, one was not a number. The monad symbolized the divinity and could come and go as he pleased, adding nothing and taking nothing away. Yeah, whatever that is. But that's true. So when I'm showing you stuff, I can take a one away. I rarely add it. I don't really do that. That seems to me, I just don't want to do that because that looks like it's more cheating, but taking one away is seems to be less cheating. And I mean, there's the rule right there. But anyway, and I'll show you some examples of that. Anyway, we're in April. Is when this time is going to happen. Now, it looked like it was going to be the second month of February, but that's the second month on the Roman calendar. So, sorry, it's really the second month on the Roman calendar. April is both the fourth month on the Gregorian calendar and the second month on the Roman calendar. And they use this, if you're familiar at all with September through December, September, October, Octo, November, December, those are all off by two digits, okay? So September is really 7, but we think we were told and we're completely duped that it's the 9th month. Octo is really, everybody knows Octo, like octagon is 8, and we were told it's the 10th month, all this stuff. So everything's, they play off those, that 2-month difference, okay? So it's hard to know, for a long time it's hard to know which one they're looking at, but it looks like with this sign of the of the previous eclipse back in 2017, August 21st, and this one coming up April 8th, okay, which is right before here, boom, boom, and I'm going to show you that, how this works right up here, is going to mark off the end of an age. And then you're going to have this time here, the 16 days, or 8 plus 8, or 88 miles per hour. And that's 8 plus 8, okay? It's in so many things that we do. We have 88s all over the place. For example, the standard piano has 88 keys. A lot of dice games, they have 2 dice, and they have each dice has 8 corners, or 8 corners, and so that's 88. I mean, there's tons of examples of that I could give, and I've shared that stuff in the past. By the way, this whole timeline here is going to be pinned to the top of comments on this video, okay? So I'm just going to give a little example of each day real quick. From 4:09 to 4:10 kicks it off with some more minor stuff. And as this goes on and on here through the last couple days here, or I called each 2-day thing 1 day because it's a 24-hour period technically, or it's 2 days over the whole earth, because any 1 day on earth has 2 different time frames as far as 2 days on the whole earth. So like right now, it's going to be 1 day where I'm at, and then the next day in Australia, which is on the other side of the earth for me. So with my brother Paul, which I love very much. Hey Paul, shout out, brother. Anyway, so then 4:09 and 4:10, give you an example of what's going to happen. Biden's going to probably, most likely, he could be removed kind of some other way, but it looks like he's going to be stepped down or be forced to remove because of some form of dementia or something. And I've said this for a few years since he was a president. And then he's going to be replaced by, of course, Harris. This has all been the plan for so long. It's in tons of predictive programming, gematria, and everything else. And then right here, 4/12 is going to be Nuxels going off in Ukrainesels, and most likely Zelensky being killed and things like that. Then we have here what I like to call the Valentine days, or day. Again, it's the second month on the Roman calendar, so 414 is 214. 214 is Valentine's Day. Again, you got the red and the pink and all that stuff, but that's an iPad Go. That's all over the place. 214 is 414. Okay, so, and I'm going to show you some examples of that in this video. Okay, how that is. So that's going to be the first attack on the United States. It's going to be a meteor hitting Las Vegas. It's going to be people turning into zombies. It's going to be like evil or bad aliens showing up. There's going to be the bad aliens showing up around this time. And towards the end here, there's going to be some benevolent so-called good aliens showing up in these big, huge ships and everything. And then they're going to dupe everybody and taking the mark. So that's all coming. So this really kicks off the big attacks that are happening with so many things. Again, it's all in my timeline, okay? And then right here is the death of Stinky BO, the 44th Prez, the future Antichristos, okay, right here. And then it's reported on this day. His death here is reported on this day. By the way, again, 416 is 216, and 216 is the day of the year that Stinky BO was born. The 216th day of the year is August 4th. Again, they just play off this. Again, they make this so many different things, so it's hard to figure out. Most people don't know this timeline, so they'll see an event and predictor program right here, and they'll see something here. But it's hard if you don't know this whole process. You won't understand how they do the predictor program. Or if you don't know, and if you don't know gematria and the symbols they use and all this kind of stuff that I'm decoding over the last 5+ years. It's been now 5.5 years basically of decoding this stuff, more than 5.5 years now. So it's come to this point where I'm getting this more clearer and clearer and understanding more and more. So right here, this is the death of Trumple. So also this is, let's keep this in mind. Okay, this is the reported death of Stinky BO, right? And his birth is 4th of August. We got 4. 1 + 7 is 8. 4th of August, August 4th. See how that is? That's his reported death, but that's also his birth. 4/8, 4th of August. 1 + 7 is 8. And that's the death of Trumple. Okay, the Trump, Trump. That's the death of Trumple. Yeah, anyway, yeah, okay, anyway, so then we have several things happen in different, probably even happen on some of these off days, but the main events are happening here. These are the main events. These are the two mega tsunamis that hit both coasts. Hawaii hitting starting in Hawaii, hitting the west coast, and then this starting in the La Palma Island. All falsely looked like it's going to be natural, but eventually it's going to be known it was false. Somehow, but for most people they won't figure it out. And then this is hitting the East Coast on 4/21, and then we have the last 2 days here, which is the balance of the faithful, including the Church of Smyrna, that start here and go 10 days right here. They go up with the balance of the faithful, and then this is when Nuxels hit 23 cities. 23. There's a lot of things with 23 cities being nuked all over the predictor program shared over the years. And then right after this is something else I'm going to show you in a second. So let's give you a little bit of idea, but the details are in the pinned in comments. So we have these first days and these last days. I want to show you something here, and the days in between. Now we have bookmarks here that the Lord showed me, I believe. Again, I can only speculate the best I know about what He's shown me, and we'll see if this stuff happens or not. It's looking like it is, like never before, but we'll see. I don't know the future. I don't have some kind of crystal ball or something. I don't know, I mean, that's not Christian or whatever, but to give you the point, I can't see the future. I don't know, and He hasn't told me. He won't tell me exactly. But as we get closer and closer, He's telling me more details and things, and I believe what He's shown me over the years is I will figure it out with Him. So anyway, 4/8 is the cross here, or the eclipses. This one on 4/8 makes this one. We had this one on 2017. Okay, and that also means is the last. X means the last. Or when you cross out something, it's over. It's the end. Okay, when you cross out something, it's the end. It's the last. It means several things, but that was a big deal. For example, on April 8th, okay, the eclipse day is the last day of the spiritual calendar on the kind of phony, but most people in Israel consider this their calendar. The 29th of Adar 2 is the last day of the spiritual year. And then right here, boom, The next day is the new age, the new year of the spiritual calendar, first of Nisan. Okay, there's several things like this in this time frame where there be end and beginning happening. Okay, including the end of Ramadan. April 8th. It's technically the April 8th based on this information here. And then not just that, it's April 8th, it's the end of Ramadan. Again, that's their most holy. That would happen at the same time, the end of their most holy. It's their most holy holiday. And then that would be correlate with this. The Jews is the end of the Jewish spiritual year. I'm saying, yeah, right. That's a coincidence. That's a coinky dink. I don't think so. And then what I'm saying is right here. This determines, this little sliver determines. This is the end of the previous year, and this little sliver determines the new year, and that's happened on April 8th. Okay. Now we're talking time zone. So if you're in a certain time zone, it's April 8th. If you're in another time zone, it's April 9th. So that's how that works. Okay, again, there's always two time zones on the earth. So Ramadan, for example, look backwards, is 2 plus 2 is 4, 8, 21 plus 3. This is how they hide this stuff. 4, 8, 21 plus 3 is 24. So that's April 8th. 21 plus 3 is 24, 2024, okay, or just 24. That's Ramadan. And then the actual the holiday that's basically celebrated during that time is called Eid al-Fitr right here, and that's, look at that, 8th of April, 15 plus 9 is 24. 8th of April, 24. And what that means is this, the festival of the breaking of the fast. Again, we have right here, I'm going to show you this, boom. So these are full and single reduction, and these are the reverse of those, full and single reduction. Now I'm just going to show you this, because these are both the same thing. See how these both reduce to 6, these both reduce to 3. They're just two different ways of doing it in regular gematria and then reverse. So these can kind of change, these could be either or. So we look at this, 16 plus 8 is 24, and then 17 is 8, so 4, 8, 24. Again, 4, 8, 15 plus 9 is 24. 4, 8, 24. Again, the eclipse day, the eclipse day, the eclipse day. It's all over in these things because it's painted in here for years and years and years, hundreds, thousands of years, because this is all the plan for so long. Because this is the end. This is the end, my friends. This is the end. That's the Doors. There's a movie called This Is the End. I mean, all this stuff. 8, 4, 24, 2, 4, 8th of April, 24. I mean, it's all over the place. The End of Days, a movie about the end of days. Look, eclipse, the end of days. Get it? Remember I said it's the end. It's the end, the last. There it is. Boom, it's all over the place. So not only we have this as a bookend for this timeline, we have this as a bookend. And by the way, do you recognize these symbols? You'll see it here soon what this is. But we have, again, 423 and 424, the last days of this 16-day timeline. It's 14/16 days, depending on if it's celestial in the heavens. It's a 14-day with a pre-day and a post-day. If it's on Earth, it's a 16-day timeline with these events. Again, these rituals go from small to great. You go from basically the chief. Why did the Chiefs win in the Super Bowl? Because the commander-in-chief is going to step down. There's a lot of chief things. There's so much chief things. Anyway, so this is marking, these two are bookends with this timeline, showing the end and then the beginning of a new age, the beginning of the pink cube or the pink square or something else. This is a lot of things, and it represents control. By the way, the idea of a box is enclosing, right? You're enclosing something in a box. Okay, that's control, and it's also indicative of a controller, the person who's bringing the control, or you also have a controller, a PlayStation controller. See these symbols? See that symbol I just showed you, the controller, and then the X or the eclipses that cross here. Well, there's also these guys come in play as well. And keep this in mind. These are massive symbols that hundreds of millions of people use and have used, and has been predictably programming them for years, and people have no idea. Anyway. Okay, so that's a PlayStation controller. Of course, it's right in this too. Watch. 8th of April, 1 plus 6 plus 9 plus 8 is 24. 8th of April, 24, or 2024. Okay, and then we have if I were to take, so for example, let me go backwards here. See, I would take this one in English Sumerian and then put that with regular English. So this one times 6 is this. So these two go together because they have a direct relationship. This one times 6 is this one, okay? But so we have that. We also have not, oh, so hold on a second real quick. To make it clear, we have the, like I said, we have the eclipse day, 8/4/24, and also in these numbers is Stinky Bill's reported death day, 4/17, and his birth, the first day, one of the first days, 9 and 10, is 4/10, 4/10 and 4/17, birth, death of the controller. Okay, it's all over this, but and also proving this that it's about him, that the controller is Stinky BO is PC. By the way, a lot people, if you're on a personal computer, it's a PC. Well, computers have anything to do with control? Of course they do, because ultimately the computer technology will develop into the mark. It starts off with these big, huge computers that are in rooms and everything, that like they were in the 60s or whatever, and then it goes all the way to a little tiny chip that goes inside someone that completely programs them, and they get the jab. And then all that together is complete control. And people are turned into some kind of in a zombie that's controlled, that can't even kill themselves because they're so controlled. That's what the Bible says, literally. People won't be able to kill themselves. And they won't, because they'll be taken over completely. They'll be like a hive, and then there'll be one queen bee. And I'm saying that because I'm going to share that soon with this queen bee thing. Okay, so PlayStation controller, PC, or personal computer, or politically correct, or whatever that's out there, is 163. What's 163? Just a massive coincidence. 163 is his name fully right here in English Ordinal. And then also, what's this? 149. Well, again, really cool. I can take the 1 away, or we have 49, the first day 49, and then move the 4 over, and we have 4. 1 plus 9 is 10. 4, 9, and 4, 10, or just take the 1 away, you got 4, 9, or move the 4 over, which you can just change these spots anytime. 4, 1 plus 9 is 10. 4, 9, and 4, 10 right here. And then take the 1 away, and what's 4, 9? 2 plus 2 is 4, 9. 4, 9. That's his name here, and that's his name here. And he's the controller. He's the controller. Okay, keep going. I'm going to prove this in more and more ways, okay? So, for example, Sony PlayStation will probably be the first thing you think of in video game discussions. As of June 2023, 579.9 million PlayStation consoles have been sold since 1994. Now, there's so much in this. I'm just going to handle this right now, though. But 1994, look, 1994. Remember I said earlier, 4, 9, and 4, 10. 4, 9. Okay, you can, with the rule of claw, you can take any 9 away. Any 1 away, any 1 away. And then you can take away any 9 anytime, because anything you add 9 to stays the same. So let's just say I had 4 and 9. 4 plus 9 is 13. 1 plus 3 is 9. 1 plus 3 is 4. So you're back to 4. Anything you add 9 to stays the same. So we have, with the rule of cloud, I can take the 1 away, and then I can take any 9 away. So I have 4, 9, and then I have 4, and then take away this 9. 9 plus 1 is 10. 4, 9, and 4, 10 are right here. Plus, I not only have 4, 9, 4, 10 right here, I also have the date, the exact date that the first PlayStation was sold was the 3rd of December, 1994, exactly. So backwards, I have exactly backwards. Okay, this is not a coincidence. They do all this stuff backwards. 4, 9. Get rid of the 1 and the 9. 4, 9, or 4. Get rid of this 9. 10. 21 plus 3. 24. 21 plus 3. 4, 9. 21 plus 3 is 24. Or 4, 10. 20. Again, 4, 9, 4, 10. 24. Okay. Hello, is this thing on? Hello, McFly, is this thing on? Okay, is it on? Okay, and then, okay, I've shared this for years, how the Lord showed me how Stinky B.O., Barack Obama, lightning falling from heaven, and Jesus said in Luke 10:18, I see Satan as lightning falling from heaven. Lightning falling from heaven in Hebrew is Barack Obama. One of the first ever I've had solid evidence is he's the Antichrist, and now I have over 800. And nobody comes close. So but look here, his nose exactly matches, his lips exactly matches. And this is the most crazy thing. This crease right here is exactly like this crease that goes right down there. Is exactly. Nose exactly, lips exactly. His eyes pretty much had matched exactly the same spot, but they stylized the eye and then they make all this stuff exaggerated from here up. They probably did a cast. Lord told me pretty much they did a cast of right here, and then everything else they kind of exaggerated from there, including his ear and everything right there. But from right here, they did a cast of his actual face of some kind to make his real face. I mean, how else do they make his face that represents the actual guy? I mean, they make a cast of his face like you do now. I mean, like you do in, prosthetic art. I mean, special effects art and all that stuff. And then he is a clone of him. Julius Caesar is Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin is a clone of Julius Caesar. Anyway, so this is all. I have other pictures, a lot of other evidence that's crazy. Even gematria like this. Barack Obama 79 and 174, and Akhenaten 79 and 174, and there's many others. But how these match exactly? There's so many matchings. It's amazing. Mr. Snake Eye here. Okay. Anyway, let's keep going. So I have him as the controller. He is the rebirth Egyptian. By the way, when he was the president, one of the Triple Crown winner was American Pharaoh. American Pharaoh. Okay, please. I mean, this stuff is all over the place, but people are not paying attention or listening or looking, especially listening to Jesus. You got to listen to Jesus. This is the key to all of life. Okay, so 425 is this new age, the pink square or the pink cube. Okay, now, but check this out. This is the birth of him to the world. Okay, so in a sense, this is a sticker I made back when this guy was running to counteract his "yes he can" or yes we can. Remember, he said, "Yes we can, which is if you didn't know, it's exactly backwards. Thank you, Satan. Thank you, Satan. Thank you, Satan, is yes we can, exactly backwards. And so I made this sticker that I sold and I shared with believers and stuff, that yes he can, okay, and that backwards means praise God. No, I'm just kidding. Praise the holy God. It doesn't. I don't do backwards stuff. Anyway, I just expose the evil people that do it. Okay, they do what they do. So he was, according to a lot of scholars that I respect, and in all kinds of different places, including a couple that I've known for years. In fact, when 9/1 and then 1 happened, okay, I called a friend of mine who is this amazing scholar, and I thought I remembered him saying years ago when we were talking, way before 9/1 and then 1 happened, okay, because I called him on the day it happened to ask him about this. Literally, I did. And so years and years before that, he told me, I thought I remembered him saying that Jesus was born on 9/1 and then 1 in like 3 BC or something like that. Okay, I forget. I can't remember. There was an alignment that was similar to the Revelation 12 sign at that time, and all this other stuff, very similar. And then I was like, I thought I remember. So I called him after 9/1 and then 1 happened. I'm like, did you say these guys just do this on his birthday? Is that what you told me? Did I hear it right? Did I remember it right? He goes, yeah. Because his birthday was on 9/1 and then 1, how we could equate it to the Gregorian from how it was in their calendar, or that calendar that he went by to trying to figure it out. Amazing scholar, man. And him and some other people that I knew over the years were incredible scholars. And I was taught by several of those and other sources and stuff how to study the word and go back to the Greek and Hebrew and all this stuff and know it and look at idioms and figures of speech in the Bible. I mean, all this kind of stuff for years and years. And so that's helped me understand a lot of things about what the word really says. And then I started knowing Jesus, and then he started showing me how it's really interpreted based on his spirit and his insight and his truth. So anyway, that was amazing. That's amazing. So anyway, by the way, there's all kinds of people that read the Bible, and there's all kinds of interpretations. If you don't have Jesus to show you and guide you through it, you'll miss a lot of things. And I did. I mean, there's a lot of things I learned, and how I was able to even discern that I'm hearing from Jesus by the word, because I knew the word to a certain degree, studying it for years. But then also he would show me and reference it to other scriptures and give me an overall understanding of what it's really saying, and that's all pointing to him, and what in a relationship with him. And it's just crazy. So anyway, moving on here. So, okay, by the way, so 425 is the 116th day of the year. Again, they like to think of things backwards, which I'm going to show you this whole video, and I've showed all my videos, or upside down and backwards. 116, the 116th day of the year is 425. Upside down and backwards is that. So in a sense, he's born on 9, 1, and then 1. The false Christ, this is the real Christ in a sense. This is the false Christ born on 9, 1, and then 1, upside down and backwards. And he was born on 9, 1, and then 1 as far as I know. Okay. Boom. Okay. So back to this here. Now watch. So this is, again, this is when this happened. This is when I'm saying it looks like he's going to be born to the world as being the answer to the world, with the aliens that are going to show up and all that at the, the day after. It's basically the day of the new age, the day of the first day of the tribulation. He's going to, exalt himself up to that position, and people are going to submit because he'll have all the answers with the aliens and everything else. So this is his the birthday that everybody knows, the 4th of August, 1961. Now watch this. 4th of August, 1961. Boom. Oop, what happened there? I we got it all knocked off here. Okay, so now we're going to separate this right here. Okay, I must have knocked the slide off there. Okay, now anything you add 9 to is the same. We're going to cross this 9 off, and then we're going to shuffle this. We're going to move this 6 over, move this 1 over, and do that. Boom. Now look at this. His birth, his birth. His birth, the end of an age. His birth, an age of beginning of an age. In his birthday are these 2 dates. Right there, boom, bam. And then you see this pink cube. Okay, so it is not only gematria, but it's symbolism. Like I said, it's the pink square or pink cube. It's control. In a box, it's control. If anything that's in a box, you're controlled. Whatever's in that box is in that box. Okay, so pink cube right here, bam. First in ladder code. Oh, PC. There we go. PC again. Personal computer. PlayStation controller, politically correct, all this stuff. 163, we know what that is. 163 is that dude, right? There he is again. And then right here, last letter code. I'm one of I don't know anybody that does first and last letter code. I've seen nobody on YouTube or anything that does first and last letter code. I think I'm the only one. And then K is 11, E is 5. That's 115. Well, you see 116 here. What's 115? Normally, 115 is the normal in the normal year. 115 is 150th day of the year, which is April 25th. But because we're this year in 2024, we're in a leap year. It's the 116th day of the year. So this is also referring to April 25th as well. So we got Sticky BO on the 115th day of the year. Boom, there it is. See? And it's normally that proves that as well. Not only does the gematria, but the symbolism and everything. I have more. There it is right here. The symbols, and those are in order, by the way, okay? And by the way, how it goes around in a circle is that Ouroboros cycle I've shared in previous videos. It's a birth, death, rebirth cycle that also works with numbers and everything else. And this is in that cycle as well. When I go back to that PlayStation controller, if you look at that, it starts with a triangle at the top, which is the pyramid at the top, and it goes around. The circle is on the right, the X is on the bottom, and then the pink square. Wow, I can't speak. Pink square was on the very left. Okay, so anyway, but this is in order here. Watch. So we had the variancals of the, like I like to call it, the Convid 1984. The Convid 1984, the V-Rus thing. It was Delta, and that's number 4 for Greek. Number 4 is Delta, and then we have Omicron, which was the next variancals, okay? And then 4 plus 15 is 19, which is Tau. And that's one of the reasons why I thought that this next, variancals or whatever that comes out when this timeline comes out in the beginning is going to be the Tausals variancals, possibly. But I was right in a sense already, because they're calling the next one, they don't have a name for it technically yet, but they're already calling it ahead of time, Disease X. Disease X. Are you kidding me? They have this one, they have this one, they're calling this one, which they don't have a technical name for yet, Disease X. And it's going to have, whether it's going to be Tau or not, it's going to be something to do with Tau. Okay, as in Taurus, as in the constellation Taurus, where Jupiter is going to be. Anyway, at this time frame, the birth of Jupiter. Anyway, in the Tau. Anyway, and then we have P cube, and this is ultimately as far as symbolically, it's going to be something else. Now watch this first. So this X or T, tau, okay, or T is the 22nd letter in the Paleo Hebrew alphabet, basically, and that's the last letter. So again, the last. The letter has been equated with the letter T and the letter TH and the letter X. So if you just turn it, T becomes X. See that? Or a cross. See, that's a cross also. Okay, death, the end. A cross means also the death of Christ, the end. Okay, letter X language. Okay, nonetheless, T is a more accurate letter, but possibly a similar pronunciation to that of X, just to show you that how they relate. So T is X, X is T, and that's the end, is the last. So that's also equating to the letter Tav, which is the last of the Hebrew, which I'm saying, which I just said, but it's also Tau. Tav and Tau. See how they're so similar? And that U is basically Tau can be spelled Tav or Tav can be spelled Tau. So they see how these cross over. They're basically the same darn thing, okay? And they both mean the same thing. And it also means a sign. It also has the number equivalent in Hebrew of 400. And a lot of you know already that when the sun is the moon is in front of the sun, the moon is the sun is 400 times larger than the moon, and it just so happens to be by chance. No, by wow, did I just say by man? Can I speak here? Anyway, by design, okay, by God's design, no one can tell me that that's chance. I mean, you gotta disconnect your brain from logic to believe that the sun is 400 times larger than the moon, roughly, and is 400 times farther. So that makes the moon exactly cover pretty much the sun, and that's chance. I mean, wow. If you believe that, I got some oceanfront property in Arizona to sell you. I mean, seriously, really? Wow, really? See, you got to suspend logic to believe that kind of stuff. There's so many things that people, first of all, don't even know, and then they don't even engage, that just completely annihilate this idea that things just happened by chance. I mean, it's absurd. It's just poppycock in many ways. Okay, so anyway, so boom. So these are the same. And that, again, that's Tav in Hebrew is 400. And that is a sign. And that's what's coming. It's a sign. And the sign is 400. The 400th time larger sun, which is 400 times farther, is being covered up by the moon. Exactly. Okay, and Tav is 400. Hello. Okay, and so this pink square or pink cube is the queen bee. Okay, let me show you this. Okay, right here we basically have, again, this is the April 25th, the 116th day of the year, the pink square. Okay, and then we have the pink moon. The pink moon is on April 23rd. Look, it's so close. Well, let me show you this. Boom. Well, that's at this pink moon at UTC time is 2,349 hours, or military time, almost 24, almost midnight. It's 11 minutes from midnight. 11 minutes from midnight. I've heard that before. Okay, 11 minutes from midnight, okay? So close. So that means if that's UTC or Greenwich Mean Time, basically, on the other side, going into Europe, the rest of Europe and beyond, is the next day. Yes, April 24th. So the pink moon, depending on your time zone, is 23rd and 24th. So the next day is the 25th, and it just so happens to be, so that's the next day, the 25th, and it just so happens to be on God's creation calendar. This moon, this full moon, just happens to be the end of the year. The end of the year. So we're talking about how X was the end of the Jewish calendar and also Ramadan and all this kind of stuff. And now on the other side over here, this is the end of God's creation calendar, just exactly the next day, in which that's this account that's the most accurate by far. It's based on the sun, moon, and stars. The Lord told me one day, I was years and years ago now, I knew the Lord for a few years, and I was in a hot tub. We were just blown away, blessed. We lost a house. It was a long story. From a faith walk and everything, and then we were in this other house he put us in, which was an amazing house, basically for nothing, and it was just crazy. And they had a hot tub. I was in a hot tub, and I used to worship God in the hot tub. And one night I was looking up in the stars, And he said, these stars, he said, you see these stars? I'm like, yeah. He goes, it's my clock. And when the time is right, time is up. And it was something like that. I was like, whoa. And when certain things line everything and certain things, then it's my time's up, and certain things mean certain things, set up certain times and all that. It's all a clock. And I'm like, whoa. Like sun, moon, stars, big hand, little hand, second hand, that kind of thing. So it was crazy. I was like, what? And then he brought me to Genesis 1:14 through 16, which I'm going to get into here soon, and all the stuff about how it's all set up. And it says it in Genesis 1:14 through 16. I mean, basically how he set this up for time and everything. And so right here, so on God's creation calendar, okay, the sunrise, this is symbolize the last day, and then sunrise of the next day, the lights. It says God does not change like shifting shadows. He's the Father of heavenly lights. So shifting shadows are what the enemy uses, like sundials. It's shifting shadows. God is the God of heavenly lights, and the light would rule the day, and the light would rule the time change. So stars are light. Sun is light. Even the light of the moon at night, the full moon, is a light. That's governing the time changes. It's the lights. Okay, so sunrise of the next day begins the first day. There it is. This is exactly on God's creation calendar, the last day, 23rd, 24th. The pink moon, again, pink. Okay, that's what I'm showing you here. And I showed you my previous video. Watch my previous video about how pink and violet are all lined up for this time, and they are completely linked to a CQBO and all this. You've seen pink and violet in so many things, in movies and TV and ads and everything like never before in the last several years, because he's about to be birthed. Okay, so boom, and then so that means, and the sunrise of the next day is again the light of the sun rising. New year or age, symbolically and actually, a new year, a new age. So that's in God's creation calendar. This is the end of the year, and this is also going to be the end of the age, going into the new age, or the tribulation, or the day of the Lord, which is 1,000 years. And this would be the 7 years of tribulation begins the day of the Lord, because it begins His time, not man's or the devil's time. The devil's time is up. He's going to be kicked out of heaven during the 16 days. He'll be kicked out of heaven during this transition. The 16 days is a transition time in between the X and here. He'll be kicked out of heaven, and then his time as Lord God, God of the earth, whatever that Adam gave up, is over. Done. Time's up. Done. Quack, quack, quack. Okay, so moving on here. So as I said, Genesis, and I put it this way, 1:14 and 1:15, God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven, divide the day and the night, and let them be for signs and seasons, for days and years, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. Then the next scripture, 1:16, says, and God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. Okay, basically in this version. Okay, so what I immediately, there's so many things in here, but look at this. So I read this. I'm like, oh my goodness. Even right here, in referring to these things, are the dates. The 114th day of the year is 423. The 115th day of the year is 424. These are the last days of the age, or even the year this year, and then boom, going to 116, the 116th day of the year, like I'm showing, is the pink square, the pink cube, 425. See how this is just integrated? There's so many examples of these kinds of things integrated in the Word. And again, God didn't put necessarily these verse numbers in, but the enemy did, because he knew what was going to happen. So that was him. But God did put this together, and so he allowed this to kind of go this way in a sense too. But ultimately, the enemy did this. But look how this lines up. It's crazy. Okay, and I'm gonna give you an example. This is Mikal Shabbat, Scriptural Studies, and this guy, I was studying how the moon cycles and everything, and how the sun, moon, and stars. The Lord showed me early on when I got to know Him years ago. Maybe it's been over 20 years now, 20-some years now, as far as the Lord Jesus Himself. He was showing me how, I was wondering about what calendar is what and everything. And he was showing me the God's creation calendar about in the Word, it was saying, in Genesis and other things about the Pleiades and all this kind of stuff, and the alignment of certain things, which this guy gets into. I found him years later, and the things I already learned, and then he was expanding upon some things, and then there's some things I didn't know about it in his ministry and stuff. Anyway, he's dealing with last month being the first day of the 11th month, and so that's February, and then the first day of the 11th month is in March, and then the first day of the new year is in April, and April basically it's going to be the 25th, be the first, because we got 31 days in March and then back to 30 in April, and then we had 29 in February, so it kind of makes it go back and forth a little bit as far as the day of the month, but it'll end up being the first day will be April 25th, and he'll share that. And because that's what it shows, that's what everything's lined up for that. But anyway, I'll have a link in the description box below for this video, and you can look at his work and you see how he explains it very well. I'm not getting into it. And he gets into even the same scripture and many other things. He shows alignments and all kinds of stuff. He shows the whole thing over some time in many of his videos. And if you want to want to know how this works, everything, the God's creation calendar and everything, how it's the sun, moon, and stars, and the word dictate how this calendar works. Okay, and there's no other calendar that's more precise and more amazing than this. Anyway, so that was my own studies for years, and then I came to him to fill in some gaps, and then there's a couple things he didn't know I shared with him. But over time, this has been just a massive work that he's done. So, and he has a lot of people all over the earth that basically witness this stuff, the new moon and all this kind of stuff, the real new moon. In fact, there are versions of the Bible that still say the new moon is the full moon. That's what it really is saying. And in a few ways I've shared in previous videos, it's been a while, but how I proved that the new moon there's these versions, and even versions that have been changed, where it says the new moon is the full moon. So anyway, here we go, boom. So, and then look at here, right here in this artwork, just happens to be in this pink moon artwork, happens to be like this, what is it? It's a hexagon and a hexagon. Well, look at this. What is a hexagon? Oh, look, there's a pink square and a pink hexagon. What's going on here? Well, pink hexagon has to do with a honeycomb, or a beehive, right? Okay, it's crazy. Well, what is a hexagon? A hexagon is a flattened cube. So we put a line here, line here, line here. This hexagon becomes a cube. It's a flattened cube, or it's a two-dimensional, in a sense, cube. Or one side, one dimension, in a sense. There's still two dimensions, but in a sense, it's showing one side of the cube. That's still a cube. This is a cube. The box could be one side of a cube, and that's all you see. You're seeing three sides of the cube from one angle. Okay, but this is all the same. Now watch. Square and pink cube are 486. 486 is 4, 8, 2 plus 4 is 6. 4, 8, 24. And then we also have what? We have a hexagon, okay, is 4, 4, 4, or 4, and 4 plus 4 is 8. 4, 8. Again, the eclipse date. Eclipse date is 4, 8, 24, or 4, 8, or his birthday, August 4th, or 4th of August. 4, 4, and this is a hexagon, also equals Lucifer, which he is, in a sense, he'll be incarnate. And then that also equals, Queen Bee. Queen Bee, and these all are 4, 8, and this one's 4, 8, 24. See how they all equate here in so many different ways? Boom. So, as I'm saying, these will ultimately be the queen bee of control. Okay, he or she, she. By the way, he's a hermaphrodite. He's a hermaphrodite clone, like Akhenaten was a hermaphrodite. Okay, boom. So this is my timeline. This is my new timeline as well. Before I had 7 plus 7 over here, and I thought it might have been in April, and it was perfect. Now it's even more perfect. But the 7 plus 7 is 77 days, and then there's an alignment in the Aquarian alignment right here, which is 2 8s and 8. 2 plus 4 is 8. 888 is a new beginning. And then all these 7s are spiritual perfection. But this alignment is right here. The Aquarian alignment is right here. And then 777 days later, we have another alignment, which I'm going to get into in just a second here. This is the alignment of all alignments. But the reason why this alignment, if you don't know this from my previous videos, is that we have the Revelation 12 sign, where we actually have the birth. We show Virgo right here. Jupiter goes inside Virgo, bounce around for about 9 months, 9 months and 23 days. 9 prophetic months in 23 days, which is 9 30-day periods in 23 days, and bounces around in Virgo like a child moving around, and it comes out between her legs right here on 9/9/2017. 7 plus 7 days later is the Revelation 12 sign of 9/23, and then we got 777 days later, we have the same exact 5 planets in the sun are right here over the Golden Gate Bridge, marking out or saying that the Golden Gate is going to open at some point. And then we have 777 days later, the Eve of Golden, which these are all my discoveries and also my names, Eve of Golden birth alignment. This was on Christmas Eve of 2021. Another 5 planets and the sun aligning. Okay, and then we have 777 days later, we have the Aquarian alignment, which is these planets right here and the sun right through Aquarius. Okay, and then 77 days later, we'll have all the planets lining, which no one's talking about virtually. It's crazy. Literally, there's a graphic depiction. Now I'm showing you this. So this is all, and then we have 333 weeks from these to these, 77 months here. There's so much stuff. This is perfect. This is so perfect, I can't even say. It's amazing. This artwork was on this spacewalk website that was, you know, kind of a high-end website. I think it has some roots in NASA or whatever, or some people from NASA, but it literally shows this exact alignment in a graphic. It shows all these different dates, like April 4th, and it talks about the eclipse and stuff like that. But then it shows this graphic as an example, but it doesn't show the date of this. It's so bizarre. It's like they're showing you, but they're not showing you. They're showing you this alignment that's going to happen right here. That's happening on the 25th. Right here. Look at this. This is the actual alignment. We have Saturn, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Sun, 6. Uranus right here, or your other thing, and then Jupiter right here. You don't see the dot here for your thing, but I don't know which one to say because they're both, one's urine and one's something else. I mean, they're both. It's crazy. Uranus, whatever. Okay, but. They're both right here. So we have 7 and the sun, all on 25th, all 7 planets. Okay, for the new age. Okay, I'm telling you, this is crazy. The evidence is evidence. Are you kidding me? You cannot make this up. There's no way we have the exact 5 planets in the sun, the exact 5 planets in the sun in alignment, exact 5 planets in the sun as a Revelation 12 sign over here. Exact 5 planets in the sun, 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 and right here, all 7 planets and the sun. Hello, McFly. I'm seriously, boom, look at this. It's amazing. Okay, back now, we're going into, let's go into the eclipses here. So 2017, 2024, okay, this is crazy. This is Xing out United States. This is showing that the age is about to be taken. Now, listen, this is based on what I know so far. You know, if it goes a little bit farther, then so be it. But it looks like the next day begins the timeline. Okay, but we'll see. Again, we will see. Okay, that's the best I can do is use the breadcrumbs the Lord's given me, and incredible, fantastical stuff sometimes the Lord shows me and gives me that I'm just, you know. And then over this time I've been doing this, it's more people coming and they're seeing this and they're being told and know that this is, whether rejected or not, this is coming. It's taken this long also for me to understand all these things together, and over time I've changed my timeline, understand what's going to happen in the course of events. And it's taken this long to get to this point. It's just the way it is. Okay, so you can not believe it or whatever, but it's, most of these things are absolutely going to happen. Absolutely. I just don't know exactly when. The Lord just won't tell me exactly when, but He gives me hints about everything, and we'll see. So anyway, we have this. Boom. The Great American Eclipses right here. 4. Let's say, just to move the 4 over here for a second. 4. 1 plus 1 plus 6 is 8. And then 7 plus 2 is 9. We can get rid of that. Anything out of 9, 2 stays the same. So get rid of that. We have 4. 1 plus 1 plus 6 is 8. 4, 8, 24. 4, 8, 24. It's hidden in there, but it's there. Okay, and then, I was going to knock this out as far as being a 9. 24. 4, 1 plus 6. 1 plus 1 plus 6 is 8. 4, 8, 24. Okay, boom. And then right here, from, most people don't know this. A lot of people think, we go back here. A lot of people think, 7 years in between. Some people even said, this is the tribulation. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. That's just very foolish. So no, in between both of these is 6 years, 6 months, 6 weeks, 6 days. I got to give a shout out to my brother Constantine, my brother in Romania, that has been this amazing partner for me in the last year and a half, I think now. maybe a little bit longer, something like that. We've been bouncing things off each other, and he originally found this exactly, and I'm just like, wow. And then I recently shared with him this. So again, this is marking out the one end of that bookends. I'm calling them the bookends of the transition. Okay, the bookends. 4-8. Okay, now watch this. This is what it's really about. From 9-9, when Jupiter exited Virgo, 9-9, 6 years, 6 months, 6 weeks, and 6 days later, just like this, we have the other bookend. We have this bookend from the eclipse to the eclipse, 6-6-6-6, and then we have from when exactly Jupiter exited between the legs of Virgo, 9-9-2017. Look at my chart, look it up, whatever. To 4-25, the two bookends, the X and the cube. Are you listening? Is this thing on? Are you here? Do you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? Boom, look at this right there, 9-9 to 6-6-6-6. Boom, there it is. And then we go on to here. By the way, 9-23 when this was over here. So we'll go back here. Boom. When that was at 9-9, and then boom, from moved there, and then that caused an alignment here on 9-23. And this just happens to be at the exact opposite of the year. This is 266 days of the year with 99 days left. This is 99 day of the year with 267 days left because of the leap year. But look, 99 opposite 99. So 9-23 is 4-8. See that? All these opposites I'm showing. And then, okay, so now, again, we're looking at this, right? Boom. Look at this. See? Pink. Remember I said this is a pink cube, really? Oh, look, there's the queen with the pink cube. She's going to push on the earth, be a controller. She's going to put her hand on the earth and push down, and she's going to light up this cube. But I'm not going to show that. You can look at the video. Look at it. It was from June 2nd, 2022. It was a few months before she died. She died 3 months later, or yeah, a little bit over 3 months later. But this was her big, the Platinum Jubilee celebration. Give me a break. What it was a cultic ceremony with these jack wagons and the queen of the jack wagons. Boom. They lit up this. What is this? This is a DNA helix, but it's got 3 strands. 1, 2, 3. 3 strands of DNA, people. This is a DNA helix. 3 strands. 1, 2, 3. 3 strands. Okay? That means we normally have 2. They're going to add another strand. It's going to be 23, 23, and 23 chromosomes. It's going to be 69 chromosomes. That's why they love the number 69 also. But, I mean, it goes... And then it goes down here, and it goes and lights up called the tree of life, which is the opposite because it's the tree of death. Oh my God, it's the tree of death. It's the tree of death. I mean, give me a break. And then there's Will.i.am, the second beast right here, overseeing this work of this. You can see, look at this. It's got 3 sides to this tree of death. Okay, it's a tree of life. No, it's not. Oh, no, it's not. You bugger. You bloody thing. Anyway, I'm not going to say... I could say something. Anyway, so it's crazy. Look at this. Okay, this is what happened, okay? Oh, by the way, that ended the Jubilee celebration that they did here, ended on the June 5th, 2022. The next day was 666, June 6th, 2022, 666. And then there's all kinds of 666 involved in that. I'm not going to get into that right now. I don't have time for that. Okay, anyway, boom, okay. So we have that, okay? And then we have this. We have 923 on the other side of it is 48. And you have 99, that birth on the other side of that is 423. One of the last 2 days of the, this is just this coincidence. See, the birth and the alignment, and then we have the alignment or the crossing, and then we have a birth, because on this last day, the 23rd and 24th, will be the birth of the Antichrist, the birth of the faithful into heaven, the balance of the faithful. Boom. Now let's talk about the sign of Jonah in this eclipse. Okay, there's some massive references that I found in the sign of with this eclipse of the sign of Jonah. Title of my video, basically. Okay, so Matthew 12:38 through 40. And then some of the scribes and Pharisees answered him, saying, Teacher, we wish to see a sign from you. But he answered them, An evil and adulterous generation seeks for a sign, but no sign will be given to it except the sign of the prophet Jonah. For just as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the great fish, so will the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. Now, yes, there's some things about what he did in 3 days and 3 nights, but the big deal is the Jonah and the fish thing here, the sign of Jonah, okay? So the sign of Jonah was in Nineveh, and there was an eclipse as a witness to him saying, stop sinning, live for God, stop doing it. And then they listened. Now, we got a warning from many things, like when Obama and the Pope got together, there was a lot of kinds of warnings all over for years and years and years. There was 9-1 and then 1. There was all kinds of warnings, but we're gonna get it backwards. We're gonna get the eclipse after, and then it's gonna start. They got the eclipse before because they were a more wicked and adulterous generation than they were. And he's talking about us. He's talking about us in the future. And in this version, it says great fish. In this other version, King James, it says whale. In the whale, belly of the whale's belly. Okay, same thing in a sense, but they're both some kind of sea monster, some kind of sea fish or whale. Now watch this. This is incredible. Look at this. This is where it is, and it's in the midst of fish. Okay, and strong definition. Okay, the abdomen, so it says belly. That's what this means, belly. Or it comes from kios. The abdomen, by implication, the major figurative, the heart, or the heart, okay, which is the center. Now this said the fifth definition of this, the E, A through E, is of the middle or central or even inmost part of anything, even though inanimate. So watch. Middle of the fish, or middle of the fish and this thing, the cetus. Now what is cetus? Watch, the cetus is a constellation sometimes called the whale. The whale and the fish. Okay, like I said, the whale and the fish. Well, it doesn't matter. It's in the middle of the whale and the fish. And that's a coincidence? And this begins an alignment of planets right here. And then even the devil comet. The devil comet's coming. Pons, 12P, something, Pons something. Anyway, people are going to correct me or whatever. Oh, here, it's right here. Sorry, I forgot it's right here. They call it the devil comet because the devil's coming after the man-child, Jupiter, right here. See? Coming right after Jupiter. And this is all part of predictive programming and also in Revelation 12 sign, or Revelation 12 about the dragon coming after. The devil comet's coming after the man-child, Jupiter. 12P, sorry, it's right here. 12P Pons Brooks, and they also call it the devil comet because it looks, when they like zoomed up on it, they said it looks like a head with horns. So they call it that. Crazy. This is massive stuff right here. Massive. Okay, so we have a fish we got fish, and we have a whale. It's right in the center. Are you kidding me? That's pretty much what it says. The belly. It's the belly of the fish or the whale. It's right there. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then some of the scribes and Pharisees answered him, saying, Teacher, we wish to see a sign. That word sign is the Greek word auth. Okay, auth is basically, it's interesting. Oh my gosh, it's very interesting because it is, okay, it is Aleph and Tav. Okay, this is crazy. Okay, now watch. Aleph and Tav. Now they say it. I'm gonna put it the order they do it. Aleph and see they go this way. See how they go this way. They read right to left. We read left to right. We're backwards of each other. Okay, and this is so basically. And this is just one form. Vav. Sometimes I'm just going by this because they use a vav looking like an eye. It looks a little differently, but I'm going to use this example so it matches. But that's still the vav. So vav is, this says looks like an eye. It doesn't matter what it looks like, and then we have the aleph and the tav. So this is really crazy because this goes backwards. Now I'm putting the way we would read it from left to right. So aleph, vav, tav is what a sign is made up of. Aleph, vav, tav. This still gives me goosebumps right now. What this is saying, this is incredible. Now watch. This is the modern Aleph Tav. What is these have been changed, by the way. These through the synagogue of Satan, they've changed the modern to mean other things, and especially the vav or the yod, and I mean several things, all of it basically. They put crowns on these things and all kinds of stuff from the original to make it a bastardized version of it that fits all their predictive programming too, like in Bible codes and all that kind of stuff too. There's so much in here. It's crazy. So anyway, this is the paleo versions of Aleph and Tav. And these are symbolic. Like I said, Tav equals sign or X, like I showed you before, okay? It doesn't equal... I went the wrong way. Shoot. That, okay, that's nothing to do with... This is what it means right here. Man, I almost... Oh, man. Okay. And Aleph is an ox. See, has an ox's head right here. It's an ox. It's symbolic of an ox because Jesus is the Aleph. He's the first. He's the first and the last. He's also the top. But anyway, now watch this. Now we're going to just flip this like that, and then watch how this matches. Boom. Jesus is signing this. By this, this is being signed by Jesus. He's the Aleph, the Alpha, Aleph, Alpha. Okay, Alpha in Greek, okay, and Aleph in Hebrew, okay. Boom, watch this. Now we got the Tav. We're going to flip that, just so it just looks a little bit, we flip this, we might as well flip that. Boom. The Tav. Oh my goodness, this gives me goosebumps still. He signed both of these groups of eclipses here. Boom. First, Alpha is Aleph. Second, Omega is last, or Tav. Okay, so what is this saying? What is Vav? So we have Alpha and Omega, or first and last. What is Vav? Vav, the property of the letter Vav in its usage in Hebrew refers to it as the Vav Hachibur, and the Vav connection is and. For example, in the beginning God created the heavens and, or Vav, the earth. So when he says, behold, I'm coming soon, bringing my recompense with me to repay each one. This is the sign of Jonah. He's coming soon to bring recompense, to repay each one for what he has done. And he's signing his recompense with Alpha and the Omega. That's right here. Look at this. Aleph, Vav, Tav is Alpha and Omega. Lord Jesus. He is a sign. He is the sign. And, well, the pictographic word is a mark or a sign resembling an X or a cross. There's so much in this. It's so deep. Tilted to the side, also a covenant, a mark of the covenant, a covenant of judgment, what he said he would do. So it is a picture of two cross sticks, as in he was on a cross. He is a death, and his coming back are indicative of a cross or a tav, I mean, and mark as such a target, and is a mark such as a target one aims at when shooting. This is so deep. The original picture is a type of mark, and also it's going to have to do with the mark that's coming. Probably two sticks crossed to a mark in a place similar to Egyptian hieroglyph, a picture of two crossed sticks. The letter has the meanings of a mark that's the bad that's coming, a sign, God's purpose of a sign, and a signature. His signature on it. This is crazy. I mean, I'm just emotional. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord Jesus. So, his signature, Alpha and Omega, the first and the last, Aleph and the Tav, is a signature. What is a signature? Hidden in a signature is an anagram. The anagram is a true sign. It's a true sign. His signature. That's an anagram of a true sign. Okay, now watch this. What's another true sign that people don't see? The signature of Sikibio Barack anyway. No sanity Obama. Okay, no sane. Barack no sane Obama. Okay. Oh my gosh, look at this. Now watch this. Okay, I'm going to apologize ahead of time to people for the grossness of this. But this is, I've got to expose this. I've got to expose it. Without, no pun intended. I'm sorry. Oh, Lord, Jesus, help me. Lord wanted me to. I didn't want to. And the Lord's like, you need to. Yes, it is. It's whatever, but it is necessary because this is how just nasty these people are. This is, and he needs to see the opposite of what the Lord is. The Lord is this true sign of this Aleph and Tav, and then this is the sign of Obama. This is his sign, signature. Okay, we're talking about signature, a true sign. The true sign of who this jackwagon is in his signature. Now I'm going to flip it like this, and we're going to add a 1. I rarely add a 1, but we're going to add a 1 right here, a line, a 1. Okay, because it says you can do it in general in Freemasonry. So I'm adding a 1 right there. It's a little squiggly one, but it's a 1 just so it goes with the squiggles here. And we're going to turn it upside down and backwards. And if you don't see what that is, you will see right now. See on the chalkboard at the top what that is, and see what this is. It's so sick, but that's what it is. And what it's depicting is the opposite. It's supposed to be conception, and the opposite of that is his birth. And this is Hawaii. And then we have an island here, and then we have Oahu where he was born right here. And then this is the last drop right here, which makes the eye of the shark, which he is the eye of the shark, or he's the shark. Eye of the shark is 666. Or the eye, which is also, it's many things. But that last one comes down here. He is the angry shark that's going to eat people. He's the land shark. He's the knock at the door, anagram or candygram, and the land shark that comes to the door and eats you, like in Saturday Night Live. Anyway, but it is a, okay, again, I apologize to anybody who's whatever, but this must be said because it's what's in there. It is a ejaculating penis. Okay, that's what this is. That's what this guy is. He's a big whatever. And it's right there. It's, by the way, all over iPad Goat is splashes of semen all over. I mean, there's also a big tower that's obviously in the shape of a penis that has ejaculate all over it and all over around it and everything else, because that's showing conception, and the opposite of that is birth. His birth of the Antichrist, this jackwagon right here, this thing I want to call all kinds of names and say what he is, because he's the worst of the worst. The worst of the worst right there. The king of the worst of the worst. And the king of the false 144,000. Okay, so right here is 166 and 266. Again, just like his ejaculating nuggets, this is upside down and backwards. So take 166 and 266 upside down and backwards. The eclipse is the 99th day of the year plus 1, and the 99th day of the year is the eclipse plus 2, and we have 49 and 410 is the two beginnings of all this, of the timeline. Crazy. Now, when this first eclipse happened in 2017, a lot, for those who know or those who don't know, it went through 7 Salems. 7 Salems, like in Jerusalem. 7 Salems. Coincidence? I think not. And then now, okay, let me show you this. So this going through Texas here, okay, this time, boom, we have literally the city of Jonah. Okay, again, we're talking about the sign of Jonah right now. We're in the subject of the sign of Jonah. And then Jonah is 48 and 87. But again, this relates to this because they both reduce down to 3. There's just different ways of reducing to 3. These both reduce, the reverse, we reduce to 6. So you can interchange these and all. So we're basically going to do this. We're going to highlight these. 4, 8. Again, just another chance, just absolutely phenomenal chance that the date of this eclipse and where Jonah is and everything, it just happens to be April 8th, 24. I don't think so. And then it says in the book of Jonah, but Jonah rose to flee to Tarshish from the presence of the Lord. He went down to Joppa and found a ship going to Tarshish. So he paid the fare and went down to it and to go with them to Tarshish, away from the presence of the Lord. So that's about judgment, going away from the Lord, okay? And then, so Jonah went to, right, still in the eclipse, Joppa. Okay, and by the way, all along this eclipse are all kinds of names of towns and cities that have to do with judgment, all the judgment stories in the Bible. And I'm not going to get into all that right now, but I found plenty about Egypt. In fact, everybody knows where this one and the other one cross is Little Egypt. It's and we have, the capital city and all that. We have all this stuff and we have all these different judgment stories in the Bible that have these names of cities and stuff in this eclipse and this other eclipse, but a lot more in this eclipse. It's crazy. It's really insane. And someone could do a lot of stuff on a few videos on that, I'm sure, which I'm probably not going to do. But okay. And then look, Joppa just happens to be, right, 4-8. Okay? 4-8. And we'll take the 3 and the 6, become a 9, take that out. 4-8, 24. Or go backwards. 24, 8th of February. 8th of April, sorry. That's all in here too. It's always in here. Oh, I just crossed it out right there. So 3 and 6 make 9. Get rid of that. 4-8, 24. Okay, and then now, and then in this eclipse we have 7, kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Ninevehs. That, and by the way, these are the only Ninevehs in all of the United States, and they're so close to the eclipse. 2 are right in the full eclipse, and then these are all these percentages, but so close. Look how close. This one's an 87% eclipse. All these others are in the 90s. Okay, and then we have Eagle Pass. The reason why Eagle Pass has been in the news about the border crossings and all that kind of stuff was because of the eclipse. That's it. And it's the passing of the eagle, the death of the eagle country. Hello, McFly. Hello. Knocking on the head of people who don't listen. The ones who listen, you know what's going on. You're learning more stuff. I'm showing you what the Lord's teaching, and it's massive. It's awesome. It brings me to my knees a lot of times. And I'm just so thankful for what he shows me. And sometimes too blown away, and my cup overflows over the cup and over the table and off the table onto the floor and out the door and into the street. Ma'am. And then we have another one. This is up through, there's Maine right here, and then over here in Nova Scotia, there's a Nineveh right here. I had to overlay a couple maps, so this overlays right over this other map, so you can see, because I didn't see any examples of this anywhere, but look how close it is to this full eclipse. Another Nineveh. There's 8 Ninevehs, 7 in the United States, and there was 7 Salems on the other, so 7 and 7, and now there's one more here in Nova Scotia, Canada, right here. There's the eclipse, and there's Nineveh. And then it has nothing to do with the sign of Jonah, all the things I'm showing you. Now watch this. Are you ready for this? Y'all ready for this? Okay, anyway. We got the United States, right? And it's so crazy because I had thought about this before, because I remember, like, Italy looking like a boot, and then certain countries looking like certain things. And I thought that the United States looks like some kind of whale. And then I just thought about it, and I looked up this idea because I'm thinking of a Jonah and everything, and there it is. The depiction was like, this was a great, I was like, whoa. And then this is secretly is a whale. The United States is a whale. Oh my gosh. Okay. And then I'm like, boom. And then I find another picture of a whale and another depiction of how it might look or whatever, and and all that. And then more, America, Stars and Stripes and all that stuff, right? But, and then I make my own version of it, of this one. But first, it was weird. When I was looking at this and I had these eclipses go over it, my wife was like, "Oh, that's his belly." My wife will see some crazy things too sometimes, and I'm just like, that's right on his belly. That's probably where his belly button would be if he had, I don't know if they have belly buttons, but that's his belly, the belly of the whale. I mean, are you kidding me? And then I thought, oh my goodness. Then I got, okay, first of all, and then we also have Texas is right there. Texas, X is, there's a reason for that. The X being in the middle. Are you kidding me? There's so many things I could get into right now. I'm not going to. That's the belly of the beast. And that again is 4-8 or 8-4, 8th of April, 9, 2 plus 7 is 9, 15, 24. 8th of April, 24. And we also have 4-8, okay? And then 1 plus 8 plus 9 is, sorry, hold on a second. Sorry, 4-8, 1 and 8 is 9. Get rid of the 1 and the 8, that's 9. 8th of April, 24, get rid of this 9. Okay, so there's a 9, there's 1 and 8, get rid of that. There's a 9 right here. So we got 8th of April, 24, 8th of April, 24. I mean, it's all there. Belly of the beast, okay? And then, of course, Texas, like I said, Texas is the Lone Star State. There's so many things like this. But now go backwards. 8th of April. 1 plus 3 is 4. 8th of April. 12 and 12 is 24. 8th of April, 24. And that's not planned? Please, please, please. Okay, now, then I was like, I'm going to take this, and because I saw this that other eclipse, I'm going, okay, well, it depends on your perspective. If you look at the whale like that, that's originally the way I kind of saw the whale in a sense when I was thinking about this being a whale, and this being a fin, and that being this being a side fin. This comes across right here. This being on the side, this being the other side, and then this being the tail. But then it's like a little tail right here. It's a little tail, but then that one artist drew more of a tail, but it's got a little tail, or it looks like it's looking way in the distance here. Anyway, so then I'm like, oh wow, this eclipse. There's a belly right here. The inside of the belly could be right here. So however you ever slice it, United States is a whale, and the two different eclipses are two different positions where a belly could be. I mean, it's like, what? Thank you, Lord Jesus. And then in iPad Goat, there's the belly of the beast and the whale, these big whale bones here. See that? And that's the beginning when the eclipse happens. This is an eclipse, and it's a yin-yang eclipse. In fact, yin-yang eclipse is not only the numbers of, now watch this. So you got 4, 7, plus 1 is 4, 8, 24. Or 8 August. Wow, yeah, August 4th. Yeah, that too. But 8th of April, 12 and 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 and 12. 8th of April, 12, 12, 24. Or 8th of April, 24, right here. But also, in these are the exact births and deaths of the Antichrist as well. So you have this eclipse, showing an eclipse in the belly of the beast, which is what's the belly of the beast in the United States. So you think of this massive beast. See, look how big this thing is. Let me go back. This massive beast. It's United States. This is Texas. This is the belly of the beast, United States. And but then it's also depicting something from another country. This is Chinese tanks invading, which will happen on right after the eclipse on the first day, 9th and 10th. That's one I haven't talked about on here, but I've talked about in the past, and it's in my timeline, the invasion of Taiwan. And you have a version of Angelina Jolie right here waving a flag, and then Chinese tanks are invading Taiwan. So you have this juxtaposition. And I'm sure there's a relationship between the United States and Taiwan as far as it goes, but I haven't gotten into that. Right? But this is the belly of the beast. This is the whale. This is the United States. The eclipse that's going over the eclipse, and they use a yin and yang because of the gematria right here. And now watch. Not only are both of these, like I said, 4, 8, 24, 4, 8, 24. It's also what? Boom. 4, 16, the death of Stinky B.O. 4, 21, the rebirth. Lightning fall from heaven. 4, 21, East Coast. 4, 8 plus 9, 74, 17. The reported death, or even the death of Trump, but the reported death of, and then we have 4, 8 plus 12 is 420. 16, 17 is death. 20, 21, his rebirth. Lightning falling from heaven. Into Barack Obama's dead body goes the enemy. Boom. Okay, and then look right here. Whale bone, whale ribs. The beast. He's in the belly of the beast. Okay? Crazy. There's so much in this stuff. Okay? And this is a timeline right here. So it pulls out. CB is right here in the classroom. It pulls out here. You see this flag ripped off the piece. I'm going to show you the piece in a second. But that right there, I've found that years ago, where that is the shape of a heart. And it was exactly 2-4. So that's symbolizing 214. And there's hearts all over iPad Goat, blinking and on the chalkboard and all that, because it's about Valentine's Day. But what's the real one? 414. 414 is 214. Okay, so that's an example there. Now let's go like this. Now, when that rips off, right before you get to this scene right here, it rips off. It's zooming out, rips off. And what is this a depiction of? For a while, I thought it was the 50th star, the 50th state being Hawaii, and it still could be that as well, because Hawaii's going to get destroyed. But what it really is Texas. Texas. Again, this eclipse goes through Texas. That's where it's showing. It's symbolically the eclipse. When the eclipse begins, it's when it starts. This is one white stripe, one red stripe, and the star. This is Texas. See, white, red star right there. This is Texas. And then Texas flag is 8th of April, 15 plus 9 is 24. 1 and 5 is 15 plus 9 is 24. 8th of April, 24, right there. And then we also have Texas in general. This is first attack day, is 414. Remember I said 414 is 214. Remember the flag was 214, or is the shape of a heart, and then Texas equals 414, which is 214. See how it's both months? Man. And then this right here, zooming out even farther, is a timeline. And what is that? That is the eclipse. See? And then we have, right after that, is midnight. Midnight is, it's over at midnight. It's over at midnight. And in reference to that, I'll give you in a second. But then we have, there's the flag right there. That's in the shape of a heart. And it's still in that shape right here. When you zoom out, it's still in this heart shape right here. You can't, it's hard to see, it's so small, but it's in that same heart, almost exact same heart shape right there. It could be flat, but it's laying it's in the exact heart shape. Okay, and it's zooming out. And as you zoom out farther, the timeline continues with a tsunami. You see right behind there is these big waves, one that looks like a shark's mouth, but these big waves that are going to hit these towers, in a sense. And that's something else. But okay, again, like this midnight thing is the end. So, for example, Bulletin of Atomic Scientists, they're saying midnight is when it's over. See, that's when it's over. And they're saying it's called the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists. And what is that? That is 4 in the middle of 3 and 7 is 410, and 4, 3 plus 6 is 9. 410 to 49, you're relating to when this is over. This is over, and then it's starting at 49 and 410. See, these different things are the same, and then relate to other things right by them, and the same thing. It's crazy. Then we have, this is symbolizing, this is a clock tower. It's midnight on clock tower, which is 4, 8, 12, and 12 is 24. Get rid of this. 1 plus 8 is 9. Get rid of that 9. You got 1 and 2, 12, 12, and 4 and 8. It's all here. And then if you just get rid of this, if you just do this by itself, it's 410. 1 from 410 is 49. Just like in Roman numerals, I from X, which is X is 10. I from X is 1 from 10 is 9. 1 from 410 is 49. 410 and 49, which is just by itself. Okay, and then one of the very last sayings in this Bulletin of Atomic Scientists is, it is still 90 seconds to midnight, because midnight is when it's over. This is when it's over. So the eclipse is showing you it's over, and then the timeline starting right here, right at this point. That's this timeline. Okay, it is still, and then you spell out 90, okay, so it is still 90 seconds to midnight, and that's 414, the first attack right here, 414, which is also 214, which is Valentine's Day. I'm proving this, sorry. I'm proving that this is all symbolic of all this. Now we'll see what it actually is. That's what I mean. It's all coming together. Now let's keep going this way. It zooms out. See how it zooms out here? So again, we have the eclipse right here. We have it's over at midnight. It's over. The atomic scientists are saying that. It's over at midnight. So the age is over at midnight. This is the first attack day. And then we have this attack right here. See this whole wall of waves? This one looks like a shark's mouth opening with an eye, because shark eye is 666, and then shark, he's the angry shark, and there's a lot of things here. There's a shark right here. See, there's a shark right there. There's a rabbit, the transition of the rabbit. There's all kinds of stuff. There's a shark right here. See the shark right there. There's so many things going on in here. But this is the waves going to hit these two towers. Now, again, this is indicative of 9, 1, and then 1, but it's the real 9, 1, and then 1 that's coming. It's the destruction of New York and London. And I'm going to explain that to you in a second. Now, watch this. Okay, it's about this, New York and London. And I'm going to show you why this is. That's not about 9, 1, and then 1. It's about the real 9, 1, and then 1 that's coming. Okay, the destruction of these two. Now watch, because that's a tsunami wave that's going to hit. Now when that hits, it's going to hit London, and it's going to hit New York. Why is this? So watch. This is New York right here. See how these are two different colors? This is kind of like a greenish blue right here, or like a whatever, greenish blue. It's right here, like color copper almost, in a lighter sense. Right? And that's a pair of breasts and a tablet. That is the Statue of Liberty. And then up here is this point. If you didn't see it when it was on fire, is this perfect point. And you see that is the shape of the One World Freedom Tower. One World Freedom Tower attached to two breasts and a tablet, Statue of Liberty, is Manhattan, or New York right here. And that's in one color. And that is an island right here. It's an island. It cuts off right here. It's an island. And then another, and by the way, Manhattan's an island, is an island. And then there's another island right here, which is a different color. It's gray. That's another island. And that is, these weird shapes are like the weird shapes of the buildings in London. Okay, London falling, London falling. That's a song by, no, that's London Calling. So, whatever. That's London calling. It sounds like falling. Whatever. And then there's all kinds of stuff about that. Anyway, but these are the different. This is London. I'm telling you, there's a number of reasons for this too. Other reasons, by the way. But that's London, and then gray is synonymous with this as well. There's also the Industrial Revolution, smokestacks going off, and a bunch of stuff here that I don't need to expand on right now. But anyway, this is London. And that's an island of England. It's an island. This is an island. And then again, it's right here. So that is the timeline. So, and then it comes all the way out, and this figure falls off this thing. Anyway, not going to get onto this right now, but that gives you this idea. I'm explaining what I'm getting to there. So boom. And then check this out. This is so crazy. New York and London destroyed is literally that exact day of the tsunami day of 1 + 19 is 20. 420, which just so happens to be the 111th day of the year, okay, with 255 days left. The 111th day of the year with 255 days left, because there's 25 letters and 5 words. They do this all the time with this to prove this even more. It's not just saying this. It's the 111th day of the year, 255 days left on this rare, more rare than the regular year, leap year. Okay, that's the only time. Otherwise, this wouldn't fit, because it wouldn't fit on a normal year. With the 111th year with 255 days left, it'd be the 111th day of the year with 254 days left. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Now I'm going to get into this. This is crazy, okay? So this is the eclipse that's happening in April, the 8th. And then if you look at this, this is what these different, pretty much the whole United States is going to see some kind of eclipse. I mean, all the United States. So that's why this is another super rare thing, because they're all going to see this eclipse. And for most of everybody, except for the people in the path of totality, they're going to get a unique experience being from the top, in a sense, but everybody's going to see a bowl. See, that's a big fat bowl. That's a medium-sized bowl. That's a very thin line bowl. These are all bowls because it's a Super Bowl. This is the real Super Bowl. This is the real Super Bowl. And this is what the Super Bowl has been programming you on and everybody on for all these years. And I'm going to prove it in some ways. So the last Super Bowl was Super Bowl 58 before the end. Because guess what? When the day the Super Bowl happened, it was 58 days until the Super Bowl. This is backwards. So Super Bowl 58 is really 58 days until the Super Bowl. And the Super Bowl was that day. 58 days later, it was April 8th, the Super Bowl. See? And I'm going to prove it in a few different ways. And there's many more, but I just don't want to spend the time. Okay, so this is the first Super Bowl date. The very first Super Bowl date with, Lombardi, Vince Lombardi, and the Green Bay Packers. And then from that day to this date, in 1967, to just give you an example, it just happened to be 84 days, or August 4th or 8th of April, the eclipse day. Please. Just happened to me. Okay, it's just a massive coincidence, but will you think this is a massive coincidence? So we have Vince Lombardi, as in the Lombardi Trophy, which is the Super Bowl trophy now, because he's considered to many to be the best coach in history. And he had, literally in the 60s, he won the first Super Bowl, and then he won several Super Bowls in the 60s with the Packers. Okay, so I knew some about this when I was into sports, but I haven't been in sports for like 10 years because I know it's all particularly programmed, and it's all planned and everything else. And if you don't know that, wow, you got a lot to learn about it. Unfortunately, it's all planned, and I'm going to show you how it's somewhat planned with just this guy and some things about the Super Bowl. Now watch, and going to the Super Bowl, which is this eclipse. Okay, this is uncanny. If you believe this is all coincidence, man, you got to check yourself. I mean, you really have to. Then you will believe anything. I mean, coincidence is not coincidence. There's no such thing. Things line up for reasons. However small or however big, things line up for reasons. There's reasons for them line up. It's not just chance. Coincidences don't happen like this, especially stuff like this is so off the charts coincidence that it's all planned. Okay, boom. Vince Lombardi, for example, first and last letter code is V is 22, L is 12, E is 5, I is 9. Let's bring them down. 2 + 2 is 4. We're going to take 12 and we're just going to reverse it. to 21, okay, just for example. And then we're going to take 5 and 9, we bring it down to 14. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this 4 down, and then we're going to separate. Again, this is, we're compressing numbers right here. 2 plus 2 is 4, they call it compressing. And then we're decompressing. We're taking 21 and we're decompressing it to 20 and 1, because that's what it is. In fact, you say 21, and you're literally saying 20 and 1. 21. You're saying 20 and 1. You're already saying it. 21. And by the way, the birth of the Antichrist is 24. Why? Because it's 24 being the year, and it's 24 being the day and month. So the day and month is 24, 20th of April, 24, and the year is 24. So the birth of the Antichrist is 24/24. And when you take 24 plus 24, you get 4/8. And that's the April 8th or 4th of August. Stinky B.O.'s birthday and his birthday, in a sense, both. Do you get it? So that's why X is all over the place in so many things, in the media and everything. That's why Twitter is now X. That's why all these X things. That's why, Wonder Woman does a X over his chest. That's why another universe, Marvel universe, the Black Panther does an X over his chest, because all about the X is all about these 2 eclipses, because X is 24 and X is number 24, and we're in the year 24 because it's 24. 20th is being the day and 4 being the month. 24, 24. 24 plus 24 is 48. 48 or 84. Get it? Oh my gosh. Nailing it. Absolutely nailing it. If you don't understand, I'm sorry. Okay, so then we got brought to 14. Now we take the 21. Now we're going to take 4. We're going to do 420. And we go 1 plus 1 is 2, and then 4, and there we go. The birth of the Antichrist in his first and last name. And I'm going to show it another way. Boom. His birth, June 11th, 1913. Okay, June 11th to his death, September 3rd, 1970, is 20,904 days. Now watch this. We literally have 4 and 20. Okay, 4 and 20, and then we have 9. And then 0, like I've shared many times in all my videos, 0 is sometimes hiding O. 0 is O. That's why they look the same. 0, so O is 15. 9 plus 15. So we had 4 and we have 20. 9 plus 15 is 24. There we go. See? I showed it twice in a way. Now, ready to get your mind absolutely blown. If you understand this, if you don't understand it, sorry, but ready to get your mind absolutely blown out the back of your head. Here we go. Bam. Now this was his birth and his death. That's how many days. Now we're going to go from back to the first Super Bowl. We said that earlier. I said that earlier. The first Super Bowl, okay? Now we're going to add this exact many days, how many days he lived. We take the exact many days, and we're going to add it to the first Super Bowl date. And what do we get? What do we get? The day of the eclipse. Impossible. Impossible. If it wasn't planned. Look at this. And not only is this the birth of the Antichrist, like I said, 420, 9 plus 15 is 24. In both of these, how many days he lived, and from the day, the first day of the first Super Bowl to the last Super Bowl, the Super Bowl in the sky. Hello, is this thing on? Okay, watch this. Man, Lord Jesus, you're so awesome. I'm sorry, people, if you don't see this, God bless you anyway, but if you don't see this, oh my goodness, you are blind as a bat. If you don't see what I'm showing you, you don't pick up what I'm putting down. If you don't pick up what I'm putting down, you better. Okay, here we go. Now watch. This is the eclipse right here. Now watch. And now we're going to take this. Again, anything you add 9 to stays the same and get rid of 9. Now we're going to go 0, 0, 2, 4, just to make it easy to understand. 0, 0, 2, get rid of the 9. Anything you add 9 to stays the same, get rid of 9. 0, 0, 2, 4. Now watch. To take this down. Again, 0 can be O. So O and O is 15 and 15, or 1 plus 5 is 6. And so that's 6 and 6. 6 and 6, 24. 6 plus 6 is 12, and we're going to bring down 24 again. And then look, 4 plus 8 is 12. So see how these come together? This is this. This 1 plus 4, 1 plus 4, wow. 4 plus 8 is 12, 24. Break that down, 12 is 6 plus 6. And then 6 is really O and O. See that? See how these come together? So this is hiding that, and this is hiding 4, 20, 9 plus 15 is 24. See? Birth of the Antichrist, bookends of the Antichrist's birth. Bam. Huge. Now we're going to take Super Bowl in English Sumerian, which is a very common one they use. They use some English gematria and English Sumerian, which is English gematria is times 6. Now watch this. Now underneath here, if you look at the way these ciphers work, and they show this, is 786 can be reduced all the way down to 3. Well, there's a process, a way at which it could be reduced down to 3, and I'm going to show you an example of that. So 786, how can it be reduced down to 3? Because again, you're combining, or you're yeah, that word again. You're compressing numbers, okay? You're compressing numbers. That's what they say. You're compressing, and some elites I've heard say this, so that's why I know that's what they say, including Christina Lagarde, or whatever, that was the head of the IMF. She literally said that. There's a few other people have said, they literally said, you can compress this number and do this and do that and decompress this and whatever. That's for their terms, because she's one of those people, okay? She's Freemason and all that. So anyway, so Lagarde, Christina Lagarde, whatever. Anyway, so 786 can be compressed. So that, how that's compressed to 3, I'm going to show you. So it can be compressed to 7, 8 plus 6 is 14. So it can be compressed down to 714. Keep going down. 7 and 1 plus 4 is 75. Keep going down. 7 plus 5 is 12. And then 1 plus 2 is 3. See how this works? So this number can be any of these numbers. It could also go 7 plus 8 is 15, so it would be 156. And then 1, and then 5 plus 6 is 11, so it could be 111 as well. And that's the birth of the Antichrist as well. 111. Super Bowl is 111. See how that's hiding there? But I'm going to show you this example, for example. This example, for example. Yeah. That's a way to speak. This example here. Now watch. So that I'm going to use 75 and is what Super Bowl is hiding. There's some other examples I could use to show 75 relating to Super Bowl, but I'm just going to leave it at that. In fact, the last Super Bowl was Super Bowl 57, which 75 backwards. There's a lot of things like that, but I'm not going to take the time. I could do an hour thing on that. But anyway, so then it was Super Bowl 58. So now, but remember I said it was 58 days to the Super Bowl. So instead of putting 58 after, I'm putting it before. So we're going to just bring this down, and we're going to have 58 and 75. Now watch this. Not only do we have January 15th, the first day of the Super Bowl, to the Super Bowl is the birth of the Antichrist, 420, and then 9 plus 15 is 24, and this is also equals 49, 24, as I showed you, 49, 48, 20, 24, okay. Also, if we take this, this also equates into not just days, but 57 years and 85 days. From first Super Bowl to the Super Bowl, to the first Super Bowl, Super Bowl to Super Bowl, it's 57 years and 85 days. And I told you they like to do things backwards or upside down and backwards. 57 years and 85 days, now backwards. 57 years and 85 days. 5785, 5785. That's just a massive coincidence. No, it's not. There's the numbers. That's what the potential is for these, and that's why it's 58, because it's 85 days. If you just look at 58 and 85 being backwards from the days in between these two, from January 15th to April 8th on a leap year is 85 days. On a normal year, it's 84 days. So on a leap year, it's 85 days. And that fact that that's 58 backwards and 85 is another thing too. But look at this. 57, 85, 57, 85. That's backwards. This is forwards. I'm telling you, there's always... So, spoiler alert. If you didn't know, spoiler alert, Jesus wins. Actually, he already won. But for those people who don't understand the concept that he already won and want to see a timeline and, you know, beginning and end and all that, and don't understand how he already won a long time ago. But, you know, spoiler alert, Jesus wins. Okay, so he's coming to reap his faithful first. So, and like it says in Revelation 14:14, and I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and upon the cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. He's going to reap his faithful first, and then he's going to eventually grab other people. But anyway, I'm going to leave it at that, okay? And I'm going to thank you, all you who have been any positive part of this ministry. I'm so thankful. Thank you. God bless you so many ways. The ones who've given financially, I can't even say. You know who you are. And the regular ones as well as the ones who give at different times, or if you've given in the past, I thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm on my knees thanking you. I'm on my knees thanking you. Thank you for listening to the Lord. Thank you for having compassion in your heart. Whatever it is, that you've done to give to my ministry and my family. I have 4 children and my wife and myself, and this is how we live. We live off this because that's what the Lord commanded me to do a couple years ago. I was doing it with a job, and then He said, "I want you to just step out and trust me, and just live by faith, and all that." And then we've been living by faith for 20 years before that, but just freakish stuff, freakish faith, losing our house, then being homeless, and then giving a house, and then losing all the cars, and then get a car, and then it's just unreal stuff. I've shared a little bit of this stuff here and there, but just for 20 some years, just freakish faith. I mean, in everything, just crazy. So that's just how we live. I'm not going to do anything otherwise. I'd rather die than not do that. So, but I thank everyone who's ever given, and the ones who give faithfully. You know who you are. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm telling you right now, personally to your face, thank you for doing that, to writing that check, to depositing that much money that you didn't have to do. Thank you. Okay, but I'm not. I'll let everybody know. I'm not on Easy Street or anything like that, because I gotta beg on these videos sometimes, like now, so don't think that it's just enough. Usually it's just enough. And so those people who write those bigger checks or the whatever, it's just enough. So I thank you. I mean, please don't get this idea that, we have one vehicle that's not even our vehicle. Oh, by the way, we lost our van. Okay, when I had a whole thing with this whole van, I didn't get into the details because my wife doesn't like me sharing a lot of details personally about us. I would share a little bit more, but I promised her that I'd honor some of the things that she wished and all that stuff when it comes to my videos and such, as far as personal stuff in the very beginning. That would take in and it's just the right thing to do, to compromise with all that. I'm one to share more things, and sometimes the Lord just says don't, and then sometimes He leaves it open, and then my wife's involved, so I gotta be mindful of that. So, but we lost our van. We had a massive problem with it. Anyway, we lost our van, and then we had to use I had a wonderful friend that I'd known for a few months, and he said, hey, take this vehicle. And he gave it to us for a while, but then I said, I'm going to lease it from you, give you some money every month for it. So now I have a monthly payment. It was the right thing to do. I didn't have a monthly payment. I owned my van outright, and then it just, boom, gone. It just, bad, funky, it was bad. Done. It's done. It was done. So, I couldn't do anything. So, anyway, I'm just going to throw it out there. Just if, I just came to my mind right now, Lord, maybe I'm just going to, He just said, go ahead and just throw it out there. If anybody has a means for a vehicle take 6, then just, let me know. Send to theexaltedlamb1@gmail. Wow, Lord, I just did not expect that to, whatever. I'm not expecting anything at all. I feel like He just said, throw it out there. So, okay, that's uncomfortable. Anyway, but we are doing fine with that, but we have costs, and including that. So I just have right now, within a couple of days ago, just have, with some faithful givers, just have my rent and a couple of other things that we need covered just happened. Literally. And now we're a couple of days until rent due and everything, but I don't have any enough for food and for this next thing of food, and I have to go get a bunch of food for family and everything like that every week and a half or whatever it is. So I don't have that. So, and other things that are coming up very soon, like everybody knows, and all that kind of stuff with life and everything. So anything that you could give out of your heart, I would really appreciate. If the Lord guides you, or you just feel they want to give, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. God bless you. The links for PayPal, and I have a P.O. box, and there's also Zelle Pay. You can sign up for ZellePay.com. It's free. It doesn't, no cost for transferring money. It's an interbank thing and all that. So, that's all a possibility. It's all in the description box below. Thank you so much. And again, please pray for us. Please pray for me specifically. There's attacks all the time. Just with YouTube and all kinds of things, there's always that. So anyway, I think I'll leave it at that, I guess. And by the way, physically, I'm doing so much better. My sleep apnea is not completely gone, but I'm able to sleep in certain ways now, and the Lord's directed me over some time and how to get that better and stuff, so I'm able to rest. It took me some time, but He worked it out, and it's been so much better. So if some people were wondering about that in my emails and such, So I'm doing so much better with that. Overall, I'm doing very, very thankful. Always have challenges, sometimes physical and different things, and always financial, always. But the Lord's faithful, and He always has been. He's never let us down. Never, not once has He let us down. It's always been. I asked Him one time. I was like, Lord, why do you wait to the very end sometimes, the very last second sometimes? I mean, down to the very last second before you rescue us. I mean, there's been so many times. And then I asked Him that one time. It just my heart was breaking almost. Like, why do you wait? Like, why do you do this? And it was like a week later, He just all of a sudden out of nowhere, He goes, you know why I wait till the last second? I go, like, yeah, I've been asking you. I asked you that a week ago. He was like, because you can't deny it was me. Anything else that happened, it was circumstance or people or whatever. And at the very last second, then He said, you can't deny it was me. And I was just like, whoa, mind blown out the back of my head. That's so true. So anyway, I thank you so much for the prayer and for any kind of giving you could give, or positive comments. Thank you so much. Liking, subscribe, all that stuff. If you haven't, just thank you so much for even watching my videos, taking the time. I'm so hopeful. This looks like this is it, but we'll see. I don't know. I never know. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. Stop rambling on here. As some people say, oh, you ramble and I don't think I ramble. I think I share a lot of good things, and I think I pack a lot in a certain amount of time. But there's times like right now I have to share things, and it's my heart, and I'm just being honest and I'm being real. And if you don't like real, then you can hitchhike over somewhere else. That's how I feel. So that's it. This is my house. And oh, by the way, I'm gonna say it again. I haven't said it for a while. If you give any negative comments or any kind of ultra religious mumbo jumbo crud or want to argue a lot, then you're deleted, gone. See ya. Adios, amigos. I mean, seriously, I don't have any time for any of that. I'm here to share the truth and to warn people. If you can't understand that, you are blind. You are blind. Seriously, horrible things are coming to this world, and wonderful things in the Lord Jesus. And if you can't see that, you need to be woken up, and you're in line for what's coming. The ones who are waiting and looking, they're going to be blessed and blown away, and all that stuff, including me. And I cannot wait for certain things. Other things, I'm fearful for other people. I've struggled with that for so many years. It's like, man. Anyway, so I'm going to leave it at that. I thank you so much for everything anyone has ever given or said or done for this ministry. In Jesus' name, I bless you, and thank you so much. God bless you. This is Exalted Lamb 1, over and out.